Yo, Anthony from West Coast Custom Concrete, the best in the West. Looks like forgot to turn my lights off. But this is a concrete pumping video, one of my favorite videos to do. This is one of the best spots in construction you could be as an independent concrete pumper. As far as making money, how many hours a week you work or how many you don't work, it's the way to go. If you want to be independent with no employees, no material, it's been an absolute dream for me to be a concrete pumper and the life I've had and the money I've made and the freedom I've had. So I would implore everybody to look into it. If you like being outside, self-employed, this is my job here. This is Hermosa Beach. We're building the Great Wall of China right here. It's unbelievable, and it's in straight sand. That's the gas line in the way. So we failed inspection. As I said, the first time they wanted me to widen the footing. So we had to crawl underneath it and do that, widen it out, and all that got rectified. So here we are. It's on pump day. I've done them both ways, monolithic. I poured the wall and the footing at the same time, and I've done them this way too. Either way, the shear strength is the rebar. So it's retaining a pretty good amount right there, as you can tell. But when you own your own pump, I used to be an everyday concrete pumper, and I had like 4 pumps. I was like a major player in the concrete pump industry. I had a bunch of business, and now I just pump my own. With my reputation, who I am, I can get trucks from 15 different companies whenever I want a truck, just on who I am and who I know. As you know, it has a lot to do with business and stuff you do. Is who you got to have good connections, good employees. It takes a while to build a rapport and have all this. In concrete pumping, I could probably do in today's age 200, 250K with just me and that pump. And I would work a lot less hours than any of these guys on construction jobs because I would hit 2 or 3 these pump jobs a day. Like 10 yards is about $500, and I would hit easy a couple a day, 6 days a week. So you can figure it out. I could do about 20, 30 grand a month pumping. That's just with one pump, and I had 4 pumps going. The rates are different. I don't know what the rates are. In California, they charge per setup, like just say $300 to set the hose, either one hose up to 200 feet. And then I think after 200 feet, it's $2 or $3 a foot extra. I'm out of touch, though, with the prices because I'm not an everyday concrete pumper. I just pump my own jobs. I get calls for it, but I don't necessarily do it that much. All right, I'm coming down the street. We're in Hermosa Beach. I have this down to an art form. I can pump concrete and be as clean as when I showed up. That's how much concrete I pumped. We got Kurt. He's my connection out of LA. I use Greg Johnson and Ollie out of Orange County. I use Kurt, this guy out of LA County, especially down by the beaches, San Pedro, Hermosa, Manhattan, all those. So once you learn how to do this, this is a trade like no other. You could roll up and you're the highest paid guy on any commercial, on any job you go on. You know, you could place this concrete so easy. And if you've noticed the way other people do it in other states, it's such an ordeal. They're just like laboring like intense with rakes and pulling it and plastic, and it's ridiculous. But people are diametrically opposed to learning stuff. Like if I did that and I had a power buggy and I had guys with rakes in their hand that are pros, I would immediately see this and say, bing, 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 a bell's going off. I got to do something different. And I would get in contact with the ready mix companies and I would say, check this dude out. And this is what I want to do. And he's using a 2-inch line. And what do we got to do? But they're convinced people, it's not even worth talking about because it's ridiculous, but they're convinced that you got to use 3/4 and you can't steel trowel it. And I know people in Nantucket, Connecticut, Rhode Island, all over that steel trowel and use pea gravel 4000. So it's wrong again. It's when you don't have enough time and you're behind the concrete and you're not talented enough to do all the stages necessary to make it look like the way California does it and cut joints at the same time. They're not even close. So that's why they say that. But they can use steel trowels. They can use pea gravel. So having my own pump, pumping my own job, we're in between this no access in between 2 houses, and it's Javier, Antonio, he's a laborer, and me. That's it. We don't have rakes. We don't have a buggy. We don't have plastic. It's that simple. I pull the hose by myself. I told them just stay down in there instead of crawling in and out over that rebar. We have a little 3 foot retaining wall to the right of Javier, and I'm going to bring a French drain all the way out to the street. And then we are going to do the a la Stairway to Heaven 2.0. That's going to be an amazing video. Huge staircase going up about 14, 15 feet. It should just blow the internet, the work and the stuff. I'm going after stuff that's just intricate, incredible stuff. I have so much I'm going to be posting on a regular basis. At least one full length, probably 2 full lengths a week. At least one guaranteed. Everyone can jump on board and expect it. And then I'm going to have 4 or 5 shorts, 3 to 5 lives a week. So I'll be posting like, between 3 and 7, 8 times a week. Look out this weekend, Friday, Saturday, we will be live in Huntington Beach doing a commercial concrete approach. And I'll be live, and we'll be featuring the Tomahawk Vibra Plate from Concrete Tools Direct that you guys got to sign up because you can win that thing for free. It's one of my most favorite tools that I've ever gotten. I like the demo saw, the Husqvarna, but this Vibra Plate by Tomahawk I absolutely love. So I'll be using it on Friday. So check it out. Sign up for the sweepstakes for Concrete Tools Direct. And Saturday I'll be pouring the approach in a couple other spots. I have about 3 other spots I'm pouring there for a gate and for a drainage thing. But I'm only going to do the video on the approach because I get a lot of calls for those city approaches. But back to the concrete pump. You get a ball valve like this pump. Oh, dude, I have that thing turned down below half. I'm just cruising. That's less than half speed, way less. And I'm just cruising not to splash it all over everybody. I don't want to get all dirty. I'm going to be using a Husqvarna concrete vibrator on this job, also from Concrete Tools Direct, which if you guys are going to buy any concrete tools, check them out. The link's in the description. Very easy to sign up. There's the Husqvarna concrete vibrator that I was featuring in this video that they gave me, which I love. And I'll be using it on the wall also next week. So on this job, if everyone's interested in this job that I'm doing here, the gas company's putting a temporary gas line in this week, and I will be there the following week, and it'll take me 2 days to build the wall, and then I'll pour it and strip it, and then I'll move on to the sidewalk and the stairs. And then I have another huge side on the other side of the house. I'll do stairs and stuff. This is similar to Stairway to Heaven. This is much tighter. But this is the level West Coast can roll up on the most $50 million house with floating steps and lights and name his price and get whatever he wants. Nobody bids against me. This took 2 or 3 months, and he got tons of bids, and he told me he wanted a turnkey, and if you want that, then you just hire West Coast to deal with the inspectors, to deal with the neighbors. It cost me $5 more grand out of my pocket because of that damn gas line. I didn't say one word. I have enough horsepower, and I can save it on labor, where it's just the collateral damage, the way some things happen. I'm making what I want still, but that's just what happened. The inspector with the footing. Look at that come along, dude. You're only as good as your rakers and muckers. Look at that. This thing's amazing. Javier's a master, and he's got a rake. Look at this form setting. Just look at this stuff. And I'm a residential flat, custom pool decks, floating steps, patios, driveways, sandblast. That's all what I specialty is the highest end stuff. But with this pump, I can do anything I want. I control the narrative of how fast I put it down, how fast we move, the way I do it. They didn't even work. Look, nobody's dirty. Look at them. Look at Antonio. Look at me. I'm having fun. Look at that. There's Loverboy right there. He runs my lives. Ladybug's my partner, business partner. She runs all my social media. My daughter Ladybug, Sydney. She's the best. That's Kurt right there, my buddy out of LA connection. So we're going to be washing this pump out. It's a basic 4-cylinder turbo Deutsch diesel motor. It's got 2 pistons, 2 rams, a surge tank on the back, and a hydraulic pump. It's got to be the most unique design piece of equipment ever made. It's so simple, and it's so... I pump with this pump for 20 years, and it's never broke down. TA and Stanton, Orange County, Olin out of Huntington are just If you have one of those two pumps, they're just light years ahead of any other pumps. If you're talking ball valve, it's not even close. But I've ran boom pump, every 3/4 rock pump, every pea gravel pump. I'm a master of concrete pumping. Any scenario, nothing bothers me. I don't care if it's 300 feet up a hill, down a hill, 5 stories, it doesn't matter. I can make it look easy. And that's what I do. Talk about easy money. Use your brain, get a pump. And it's the greatest investment. And there's always a niche to find customers and get regulars that pour 3-4 days a month. I had 150 base customer plus all the call-ins, regulars. But I gave up on all that. You get to a certain point where somehow I got led down to demo, pumping, and then contracting. So I only pump my own jobs. I'll pump other people if they call me and I know them, even if I don't. Depends what I'm doing. Look how clean this Olin washes out. That's about 90 gallons of water. Well, it's got to be the best business around because you don't need any help. It's a one-man job in California. No bidding. There's a standard rate. You can tell them that, and you don't need any employees. You don't need any material. And to maintain this pump is basically nothing a year. Balls and seats, poly packs, and surge tank. So call it twice a year at $400 a pop. So under $1,000 to maintain it a year, not even. You could do it yourself. I used to, but I don't work this hard now. I don't touch anything. I take it in. But it's very easy to do the poly packs, the balls and seats, the surge tank. It's basic. There's my vans everyone's going crazy about. Oh, he's got to be the boss. He's not even dirty. I've been pumping in those for 2 years. I have videos to prove it. I probably made $1 million in those. I'm sure if I had the boots and the hard hat, I'd do better, but this is what we're going with. I'm at the beach. Yeah, I've been doing some chair Tai Chi. Everyone's been asking me. Some yoga. But this is like a walk in the park. I just placed that. I'm not even dirty. I didn't even break a sweat. My guys are completely clean. I do it on a live. You can have a frame of reference of how long it takes me to do this and wash out. And I'm putting 3 hoses away. And I'm clean. I'm in my church clothes. So if I was going to charge, I would have made about $800 off that, $700. If it wasn't my own job. There's the best in the West rig. We got the ocean on the side, flying with the eagle on the hood. And you can check us on YouTube. So I'll be live this Friday and Saturday in Huntington Beach. Oh, God. Oh, dude. Yep. So anyone wants to get into pumping, I consult. You want to do floating stairs, I consult. Business, whatever you want to do. You want to see the most successful, best ran company on YouTube, check out West Coast Custom Concrete. See you guys around.